All right, guys, welcome into a new episode. Will is back in the chat room, and Ryan, first-time guest. How you guys doing?
Happy to be here.
I'm ready to get back into it. As I mentioned to you guys before, I got a good night's sleep last night. Feeling particularly energized. So
Awesome. Let's start with the finals. It's tied 1-1. I'm just gonna ask you guys flat out: can the Raptors win?
You want to start?
yeah, I'll take this. The Raptors, with the team they have and the team they're facing now, without Kevin Durant, yeah, I think they could win. I think they could beat this team, especially. I think the Warriors without Kevin Durant really are weak with Draymond because he's forced to almost step into a role that he can't fulfill.
It's like the old Draymond.
Yeah, it is, and that it really kind of points out Draymond, he's kind of picked up this idea as a defensive god, right? But what else does he do for the team? I think that's why he's kind of picked up that persona. But back on topic, I do think that the Raptors could beat the Warriors if Kevin Durant doesn't play. They've been kind of hinting at him each game, and I don't know. If Kevin Durant plays, I think they win probably every game, though. I mean, Kawhi's good, don't get me wrong. He puts up a subtle 30 points every single game. It's a really subtle. At the end of the game, Kawhi had 35, I guess.
Yeah.
Right? It's because he's shooting he doesn't miss free throws. But I think, I think the Raptors could beat him without KD. But I think it'd still take a lot of effort.
I've really flip-flopped on my opinion of this because going into it, I was like, Warriors and probably 5. I didn't think the Raptors stood much of a chance with how loaded this roster was. Then game 1, I was like, that was a fluke. There's no way that Gasol's going to put up 20 again, and Siakam goes for 32. And so now I'm even more thinking Raptors are just getting lucky. Warriors will get hot. They'll go back to Golden State and run them.
Yeah.
And now with all these injuries, I'm leaning Raptors because Looney's out because
Looney's done.
Yeah, done. Messed up his collarbone.
Plays out.
He was so his role has been so underrated. His post presence for them. They can't lean on Bogut, and Looney was picking up those legitimate minutes for them. And now Clay's dealing with stuff. Steph is liable to roll an ankle at any point because those things are just twigs.
Yeah.
And Iguodala got a little banged up in game 2. Of course, the KD thing you touched on. So with all the injuries, Toronto's a better team here now, just because the Warriors can't put their best 5 out there. So now I'm thinking Raptors. I think they can do it.
Yeah, I think the Klay Thompson thing was huge too because
he was in pain, dude.
Yeah, there was no way he was coming back.
No.
We all knew there's no way he was coming back to at least a game 2. And now they're really not going to tell us until game 3, probably an hour before, if he's going to play or not. And if you're left out there with Steph, Boogie Cousins, and Draymond, does that beat the Raptors even at home? Taking it back home, I think, really helps, and stealing that game 2 without Klay in the final quarter really helps. But still, you're right with the injuries thing. The teams are pretty even now if you take everyone out. So, but like I said, throwing everyone back in, it's got to be the Warriors. So
I like how you said that the Warriors stole game 2 because that's what it kind of felt like.
Yeah.
Portland was up by so much in that first half.
Yeah.
And the fact that the Warriors came back kind of was resilient throughout the injuries and won that game gives you hope that this will be a 7-game series, but still leaning Raptors.
I thought the refs controlled the first half. I hate to be the refs guy, but I will say it.
You and everybody else on Twitter.
Yeah. The Raptors, and they were still up at the half, and I thought they were going to blow them out, honestly.
Yeah.
But then,
they should have. They had a chance in the end of the second quarter to really just take apart, and then the Warriors cut it to 5 before half. And I remember I remember leaving, getting something to eat, and then coming back, and the Warriors were up 5.
Yeah.
And the Raptors didn't score for how long in the third quarter? It was 5. They spent 7 minutes without scoring.
Days they didn't score.
Yeah. How do you gonna? And that's another thing. If Kawhi's not on the court. And if he's not feeling it, like you mentioned, Siakam, Marc Gasol, they're not going to have those games every game,
Mm-hmm.
And so that's kind of the issue. And it's almost, here we go, Will Hogsett. It's almost the LeBron issue.
Oh, my.
If you don't have someone that can If you don't have someone that could just put it in the hoop every time, like the Warriors have 2 or 3 of, if you don't have someone that if you could pass off to, because you look at the Warriors and you're like, all right, Kawhi, and then you pass to Van Vliet. You give it to Van Vliet.
Van Vliet's had 15 and 17.
Okay, I'll give you that. I'll give it. Van Vliet's had a good series so far. He's had a decent run in the playoffs, but
Wichita State's finest, man.
Wichita State's finest.
We love our shockers.
And that's the thing. Even if Clay is playing, you still have him. He could just sit in the corner all game and put up, 20 points, just sitting in the corner, not really doing much. But I don't know. It'll be interesting. It's gonna be an interesting, rest of the series. I definitely think that. So,
where has Serge Ibaka been?
You almost forget he's on the team. You almost forget he's on the team.
Does he have a pulse?
The thing was, he had such a resurgence this season. People were talking about, like, Ibaka's back. And now, in the latter half of this playoffs, he's nowhere.
He's gone.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what also hurts the Warriors. We talked about injuries. Mm-hmm. OG Anunoby has not played at all this playoffs.
Right.
The homeborn Indiana Hoosier, all physicality, all effort. Where is he? And I'm kind of faking out, but I'm kind of being honest because he's a decent defender. He's no Kawhi level, but he could put a body on you. He could put a body on anyone. And I'm not saying Draymond Green's gonna go up for 20 points, but I got a bunch of issues with Draymond Green first off, but that's for later discussion.
On the point of aggressive defense, back to the foul thing. Why are the Warriors guarding Kawhi so close constantly? I know he's their point guard or their point guy, but he's gonna get his points.
Yeah.
There's no point fouling him right 2 steps inside the half court line.
Kawhi's first step doesn't get talked about enough. Mm-mm. It is so it's not quick, but it's so long. It's like damn,
hard to get.
One more step and he's there.
Yeah, I think the Warriors, I noticed, especially in the second half, are really instantly just double teaming, like trying to get, if they go off a screen, they're just putting 2 on Kawhi, and I think that's probably the best way to go for it. But like you said, you just can't be fouling them like that, because especially if it's Kawhi, he's gonna hit his free throws, and
damn right he is.
Yeah, and that's what he's a stone cold killer. He's not gonna say much, but he's gonna not let you score, and he's gonna put up a soft. Like, I was watching that game, I'm like, Kawhi had 35 points, but it's because he has like 16 free throws. He gets half of his points from the line.
Little James Harden-esque, a little bit.
Yeah, almost
a little bit.
But James Harden's also just stepping back, and like Kawhi has a good jump shot. Don't get me wrong, but it's not. He's definitely more of a power scorer, kind of just like grind it in there, turn around, fake him out once or twice, and then lay it in. Hell of a finisher. He had a couple finishes in game 3. I think one was like behind his head, and his arms were getting pulled, and you're like, how does he finish that? And he did it like twice, and of course he gets a free throw. So, but I don't know if that's enough,
Just Kawhi.
Yeah. Now, like you said earlier, with a depleted Warriors team, yeah, it could be enough. But I don't think that, the Warriors team is going to be fully depleted the rest of the series. And now the Warriors also have home court advantage. So that does not help. Drake's not going to be on the sideline. Well, he probably would be. He's probably going to buy a ticket anyway. But
are the Warriors going to have to play Jordan Bell? They might have to play Jordan Bell.
Well,
that's gonna suck.
They'll put Bell in, but I'll tell you what, Quinn Cook's been having himself a bit of a series. He's been hitting shots. He's been hitting shots when they need him. He might be the only reason they won Game 3, because he stepped up when Klay Thompson was out. And he basically filled in as Klay Thompson, hitting threes, all the time.
In the post-game thing, when Doris Burke was interviewing Steph, he said that Cook was the most confident shooter on the team. Which, it doesn't look wrong. That dude will just pull it.
He will, dude. Is Kevin Durant going to play? He's already out for tomorrow. Is he going to play?
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
Is he going to play at all? What if he goes 7?
I don't see the benefit for KD and his camp of coming back and playing in this series.
Yeah.
Even if it goes to Game 7?
He got his ring.
It almost makes you question who's holding him. Is it the Warriors staff and he's wanting to play, or is it him preventing himself from going?
I think he straight up tore his calf.
Really?
I don't think it's a pull or whatever they're calling it. Mm-hmm. I think he straight up tore it.
Yeah, Bill Simmons had a good point about that in his podcast. He's like, there's no such thing as a strain. It's like it's either it's a tear that's minor, or it's a tear that's major, and you can just kind of umbrella term it with the term strain.
Yeah.
And so Simmons was like, I think this might actually be bad, and I don't entirely disagree, because like Cavs Zoe's little.
Yeah, I know.
How long's he been gone?
It's been since the middle.
Game 6 of the Rockets.
Oh my god.
Really, he didn't play at all in the Portland series.
You didn't need him.
Yeah, they didn't need him.
He didn't play at all in the Portland series.
No.
So it's been 3-4 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Feels like it's been a month.
Yeah.
It's been a while. So it feels like.
And they've been saying
ago.
strained calf the whole time.
Whole time.
Yep.
Whole time.
They're just gonna keep. I mean, you know, they're almost playing that game like, you know, he's not gonna be out, but at least we could just act like he is, just for mind games, you know.
Cavs are weird because it's like, I guess when you hurt them, from what I've read, it's like you don't realize how painful it is until you actually hurt it.
Yeah.
Like how much.
You
I guess you take your calf for granted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think if it goes to Game 7, he will play, no matter what.
How much is he gonna
No
do?
matter what.
Or if he restrains his calf? I mean, I still think if Klay Thompson's out, you know, 1 or 2 games, I think the Warriors have to take the chance. They have to take advantage of the situation, even if it's at first game at Golden State. Especially, I mean, next game, I'm gonna say this: if the Raptors want to win the series, they almost have to win Game 3. I want to say that.
They definitely need the momentum.
Yeah, you can't just let Golden State go ahead, and then they got another game at home. Klay Thompson's probably going to be coming back if he doesn't play. You know, you got to win this next game, and that's why it, like you said, it does feel like the Warriors stole one from the Raptors.
Definitely did.
Because like they did, man.
They totally did.
Yeah, because you're like, fuck, the Warriors are screwed. Like the Warriors just, I mean, Klay Thompson didn't play all the fourth quarter, I don't think, or at least 8 or 9 minutes of it. And the Warriors still almost had a pretty comfortable win. I mean, I know it got kind of close there at the ending, but I mean...
Yeah.
And like Steph didn't score it all down the stretch either.
Exactly. And he started off cold. But now everyone's talking about him being the MVP. Like, he didn't make a shot. He did not make a shot in the first quarter, I don't think. And he didn't score much until the end of the second quarter, where he picked up like 10 points at the very end. But then, like you said, he didn't score much in the fourth either. But everyone's ready to hand him the MVP already, you know? And I don't even know who gets the MVP at this point.
Well, if the Raptors win, it's got to be Kawhi.
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
Warriors win, I don't know.
Right?
I don't know.
I mean, if he keeps up his play for Game 2, we haven't talked about him much yet, Boogie. I mean, Boogie was the difference in that game, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Boogie, you almost forget you have Boogie until he just walks out there, you know? Every time you're like, oh, crap, the Warriors have Boogie.
His facilitating was
I was going to
elite
say,
level again.
That was awesome. I didn't know he could do that, honestly. I really didn't know.
Yeah, it's good to watch him paired around a bunch of shooters, especially, like, because he takes it when he wants it, and if he sees him up, and it's just like, all right, dude.
So if KD was playing, he'd be the best player.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Who's the best player since he's out?
On the Warriors? Or
in the series?
Kawhi.
You think so?
Yeah. I think it's pretty safe to say with how...
I'm not sure KD would be playing better than Kawhi even if he was playing. I think Kawhi is having an impeccable series.
Not an unfair point, yeah.
Yeah, I think Kawhi's... Because, I mean, he's just been doing it all, dude. And we talk about the points. We talk about the free throws. But he is the heart of that defense, too. I mean,
yes.
that man locks down on the defensive side and then goes and scores like he almost at will, you know, on the offensive side, too. It's really incredible what he's doing. And trust me, KD's a phenomenal player. He's one of the best scorers the NBA's ever seen. But he can't do that on defense. Imagine if he could. He'd be the greatest player of all time.
Yeah, he really would.
He'd be the greatest player of all time if KD could, like, lock down to his full potential. Being, almost 7 foot, having a 7'4" wingspan.
Yeah.
But...
do you think this is kind of off topic, you think KD is the best player in the league now?
Yeah. I'm not going to let recency bias be like, oh, he hasn't played in a while, it might be Kawhi. Like, it's KD.
A month ago we were saying he was the best player.
His regular season, like, it's hard not to say KD right now.
And the start of his playoffs. Like, the whole Clippers series.
Oh, was just killing it.
Yeah. I know it's the Clippers.
He's unmatched in scoring ability in the league right now.
He's unmatched in scoring ability. I'd agree. And
I would say he might be unmatched all time.
You think he's the greatest player of all time?
I think he's the greatest scorer.
Scorer.
Oh, I think he's.
No, not
No,
the
I
greatest
agree.
player.
I think he's.
the
Michael
greatest
Jordan.
player.
Michael Jordan was just so so smooth in the way he did it, and not saying that KD isn't smooth, but Michael Jordan could do everything so like almost flawlessly everywhere, but he didn't have the one-step jumper that KD has that is literally probably the most unguardable shot in NBA history.
Just a jump shot.
It's just his jump shot. His jump shot is probably the most unguardable shot in NBA history. And like
Just a simple jump shot.
and he can do everything offensively too. And you talk about Harden, but Harden just he gets the ball all the time, and that's why he's throwing up those numbers. I'm not saying he's not good, but if KD was, imagine KD being the number one scorer on a team, what kind of numbers he could put up. And I know he's the number one scorer, but imagine him actually having to score.
Him carrying the Hawks.
Having to carry. Yeah, imagine him going to the Hawks. You still got Trae Young. Is he averaging like 40 a game? You don't think? I mean,
KD.
Yeah, I think like if KD
Maybe
had
like 34.
Yeah, I think if KD had to bury like a serious offensive load, he could put up, serious like skyscraper numbers, like higher than it's ever been. What did Harden average this year?
36.
I think he could do better than that.
Well, do you remember KD's MVP year on the Thunder? He averaged like 32 points, and he went on some crazy streak. He had
I do remember that.
30 straight games of like at least
25.
Yeah. It was. I remember that. That was insane.
Yeah, and he's always since he's been in the league, he's always been pretty good. He's always been very good.
Yeah.
And it's almost like LeBron.
I would not say that's a hot take. That
Yeah.
Durant's always been pretty good.
Yeah.
Ever been pretty decent.
This how early was he in the finals? How early was he in the finals?
2012.
And he had to be what? He could have been more than 4 years, right?
I don't even think he was 25 yet.
Yeah. So he's always been very good, and I don't know if I see a decline now. The calf could pose some issues, especially if he doesn't play in these finals. But that's why he might want to venture out, just so he could prove to everyone that's like right now, because all this chatter about him being gone and the Warriors being able to do it without him is just gonna be like, dude, all right.
Yeah.
He's gonna be like,
yeah,
all right. He's just gonna say, all right, we'll see then. Go join with the worst team he could find and literally try to...
Knicks.
The Raptors are one of those teams, like, the second best player on the team can be a different guy every night. But if you had to pick one guy to be who is the second best player...
Never Kyle Lowry.
Right?
He might get a ring. Kyle Lowry might get a ring as a legitimate contributor, which just pisses me off.
Jeremy Lin might get a ring too.
It does. And I just want to bring some up from game 2. I was watching a specific free throw. I don't know, it was later in the game, and Lowry came up or something. And, and I'm like, okay, you probably need to hit these two, Raptors, like, as a team. Like, you got to get these free throws. And Lowry steps up, and you almost just, like, don't expect them to both go in anymore. You're like, all right, Lowry's definitely tanking one of these. Let's hope we can get one at this point,
Yeah.
And so Lowry, like you said, the first name that popped in my mind was Kyle Lowry when you asked the question, but then I thought of, him tanking the free throws, dude. And I'm like, that is such a Kyle Lowry move, dude. You have one chance to get a ring. LeBron's gone. You can make some serious contributions. And, when they needed a couple shots in the third quarter, I think he heaved up a couple threes that were really, really a poor sight to see. So I'm not willing to say he's the second best team. Ibaka probably throughout the year. Maybe.
I think it's Pascal Siakam.
I was gonna say ceiling wise, it'd be Siakam, just
No
like
doubt.
the best that you can get from a second best player.
No
but
doubt.
like the highest floor from a second contributor has got to be Van Vliet at this point.
Yeah.
There's no one that's more consistent right now. It's just that, hey, I'm open, so I'm gonna hit it.
He's definitely the guy off the bench. Like, okay, he's gonna get his.
Exactly.
Who else is gonna get theirs?
Yeah, I agree. Van Vliet, you're right. The highest floor. That's an interesting way to put it, because Siakam's good, but he's so inconsistent.
But
And
when
if
he's
you're
bad, he is bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
And it's like that's almost the Raptors as like a team. That's like a microcosm of the Raptors as a team. But if you had to pick one guy other than Kawhi, just be like, all right, you gotta hit this shot. I can't believe I'm saying it, but it's Van
It's
Vliet.
Fred. It's
It's the man.
What
Van
about
Vliet.
Danny Green? if you need a shot.
You know,
I wouldn't hate Danny Green in that situation.
I don't want to say he's been quiet this series because he's been decent. He's been pretty good, but like I don't feel like the Raptors have been using him enough. Almost, you know, I feel like his makes are coming off of, you know, kind of busted maybe transitions almost. But like, I feel like the Raptors could find a way to use him better, you know. And Gasol last game was, you know, iffy, but
6 points.
You know, but I think he does add something to the team as a whole. I think Gasol could facilitate still pretty well.
He was really good in game 1.
He was.
Game 2, Boogie just he railed him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, especially because Boogie's just like the man now. You know, he can do whatever he wants. Boogie more than anyone on that court almost could do whatever he wants on the court because I feel like he doesn't have any pressure at all. You know, I feel like he's just out there playing.
Yeah. Last thing with the finals, just give your predictions. What's gonna happen?
Like Raptors in 7, Kawhi MVP. Sad Steph and Steve Kerr fails to game plan as he has done so far in the first 2 games.
Does Steve Kerr retire?
No.
No.
No. I mean,
the only reason I asked that is because his back is fucked.
Really?
Yeah.
All he's got to do is sit there. He's fine.
My prediction.
Just build him a chair.
And trust me.
Be like Hunter at Georgia State back in the day. Just give him one of those little wheelie guys. He'll be fine.
I'm going. I hate the Warriors, dude. I hate them. I'm going Warriors and
same.
Warriors in 6 probably. I think they win at Toronto. I think they beat them at Toronto. Because I think.
Well, that would be in Oakland.
Wait, is it? Do they play the last? They go 2, 3.
They
1.
changed it up, yeah.
Is that how they do it? 2, 3.
1, 1, 1.
Is that
or
what
2,
it is?
2, 1, 1, 1.
2, 2, 1, 1, 1.
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
So they beat him at home.
Yeah, again in 6. Then yeah, if the Raptors could steal one at home, then or at Golden State, of course, but I don't know if that's gonna happen.
It's a tall task.
Yeah.
I'll take Raptors in 7 too. I think Game 7 in Toronto, you might go deaf.
Yeah.
You might go deaf.
You're going Raptors, both of you?
Yeah.
All right.
I think Kawhi's just gonna go sicko mode and just be like, "We're not losing.
Okay.
We're not losing."
Well, I love the picks. I just can't do it. I really do. I can't do it though. I hate the Warriors.
Ryan, you're a Bucks fan?
Unfortunately,
a lowly Bucks fan.
A lowly Bucks fan.
Is this the best Bucks team that you have seen in your lifetime?
I mean, yeah, I didn't really get like huge Bucks fandom until like about 5-6 years ago. So yeah, it's definitely the best Bucks team I've seen since then.
Just your general thoughts on the season.
Pretty
damn good season.
I mean,
I thought they could have won the title.
Yeah, I thought they were going to. Going into the ECF, I was like, that's ball game. Like they're going to at least get to the finals.
Because they just steamrolled through the first 2 rounds.
Mm. And when I saw the Golden State steamrolling everybody as well, I was like, well, we'll probably get there and then have a good time. KD will boot this summer, and then we'll beat them next year. I thought this was just going to be like our warm-up to winning the finals. And then they proceeded to lose 4 games in a row. And just, oh, my goodness. It hurts me. It hurts me because, like, obviously we knew the Pistons weren't going to be a problem for the Bucks.
No.
Steamrolled them.
No.
And they... I'm so upset because... I mean, like, they destroyed Boston, too. Like, just no competition.
Boston never had a chance.
Mm-mm.
They won the first game, and everybody was like, Celtics, they're back. It's like, back from what? They've been mediocre all year.
Yeah. Just like the ECF, almost.
Yeah.
What's most frustrating about it is, like, the Raptors didn't necessarily bring a unique defensive plan to it. They just had someone who was better at doing what everyone else tried to do, which is just like, we're going to stop Giannis, damn it. And if everybody else kills us with their outside threes and their mid-ranges, then so be it. But we're not letting Giannis drop 40 on us and that be the game. But what's so frustrating about it is just it wasn't that the Raptors had like elite like closeouts on all these guys. It's not like the stopping of Giannis was pretty effective most of the nights that they won, but just collectively everyone else on the team was cold. Just for 4 straight games, no one could hit a shot.
Bledsoe.
Bledsoe.
Biggest free agency pickup in years.
They paid him so much
God bless
to
him.
be a turnover machine in that series.
That's the thing. They already paid him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like paying guys based on regular season.
Yep, extended him, and then he proceeded to just shit the bed against the Raptors.
Like when the Rockets didn't re-sign Ariza, everybody's like, "What are they doing?" And my lasting thought of Ariza was dropping 0 points in Game 7.
Right.
So it's like, okay, let him go.
Yeah.
What have you done for me?
Yeah.
What'd you do in Game 7? That's right. Nothing.
So who the hell goes from the Rockets to the Suns?
Yeah.
What a horrible career choice.
Why would you make that choice though?
But yeah, like, I figured
Money.
Brooke Lopez was eventually looking at a cold streak because like that's just not sustainable for someone
Brooke
that is
Lopez.
Brooke Lopez.
Yeah.
Eventually, he was gonna have to be like, all right, I need to go sit my happy ass in the post for a little bit, get hot, maybe try another three later. But people like that were just on the team to shoot, people like Connaughton, people like Mirotic, and to an extent Brogdon, even beyond his defensive presence, and just none of them could give Giannis any help. So that when the shots aren't falling early, that leads Giannis to have to drive more late. And so he gets gassed, and now he's forcing stuff. And, of course, Kawhi is Kawhi. So it's not exactly – I know that Giannis is the best finisher in the league right now, but it's hard to finish over Kawhi, a man with arms that could touch the ceiling if he jumped a little bit.
At least can match Giannis's length to an extent. But going on the Lopez point, I almost feel like he entered – the Eastern Conference Finals with like a 3-point mindset almost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, like I'm not a center anymore.
Right,
I'm Boogie Cousins. I shoot wherever I want.
Because they encourage it so much.
Yeah, I know. And coming from a neutral NBA fan, like I don't hate the Bucks at all, but God, I don't like Brook Lopez. I don't.
I don't like either Lopez.
Yeah.
I mean, Robin's a trash can. I mean,
I like Jennifer. She's all right.
Jennifer is the best Lopez. We can all agree on that.
How
Prime Brook was back in the Nets, though.
Dude, he was dominant.
Love Nets Lopez.
He just threw Roy Hibbert around, dude. He was like, yeah, you're not stopping this. How big of a loss was Brogdon, you think? How many games did he miss?
He most of the he missed all the early playoffs, right? He didn't come back until and then I think he missed the first one or two. I don't remember exactly.
Okay.
But enough so that he was not there. It's odd because when you think of even the top 4 players on the Bucks, I don't know if Brogdon's the one that comes to mind.
Yeah, I know. He definitely.
But his presence was so missed because Middleton's a good defender. Connaughton is decidedly not a good defender. Bledsoe has his days. Lopez isn't exactly elite, and Mirotic should only be on the floor for offense and should be allowed to hockey style sub out when they're running back on defense.
Yeah.
But
yeah, his defensive presence was just a huge miss for them.
Yeah, and more than just him alone, I think they got worked into a really good system of defense, and when you just pluck that one piece who was not, I mean, obviously Giannis is probably the best defensive player, but Brogdon's pretty good as well, and when you just take that away, it's all right, the whole system almost collapses a bit too, because you got everyone almost scrambling. And so, I mean, the Bucks had a good season. I wasn't convinced that they beat the Raptors, but Game 1 had me feeling, okay, something could happen, right? But then...
Did I say Mirotic? I meant Ilyasova. I don't know what the hell
Him
I'm talking
too.
about.
Him too. I don't know what Ilyasova, what his calling card is. I don't know. Most every player...
Fun name. That's about it.
Yeah, honestly. Yeah.
Most every player, it's okay, he's going to... Lopez, he's going to shoot threes and get boards.
Mm-hmm.
Giannis, he's going to do everything.
Mm-hmm.
Middleton, he's going to shoot threes.
Giannis is going to begin his layup from the 3-point line
Yeah.
and then almost dunk it.
Ilyasova, I feel like he's just a body.
Yeah.
I don't know what...
Yeah.
Almost like Kyle Korver to the Cavs.
Another questionable career move.
Yeah. I thought at the time, this ain't about LeBron, he's out of the playoffs. But I will say...
What is your problem, man?
We're talking... We talked about KD being the GOAT. LeBron had the Lakers in 4th place until he got injured. Just wait till next year. KD's the best player right now, but LeBron's getting angry.
LeBron couldn't win with Lance Stevenson. He's definitely not the best in the league right now.
You're right. Talk about one last thing about Bron. This past week, the only Instagram account I could say I've ever waited to be created was created, and that is Bronny James Jr.
Oh my God.
I've been waiting very long to follow Bronny James Jr. And now that has
Prodigal
happened.
son.
Yeah, and I don't know. I'm right when it's like that eve. Like no, I thought okay, finally once Bron leaves, I could be a true Pacers fan, like 100% Pacers. Love Victor Oladipo. He went to IU. I'm a big IU guy, but I like Bronny. I like Bronny, and if Bronny goes to the Pacers now, then my life is just like made. So, but that's if he even is good enough to make it to the NBA. Which
so what if he turns out like MJ's kid and just like plays at Central Florida? He doesn't like amount to anything.
Yeah.
Like ESPN's just like, and look at Bronny James Jr. in the Spanish league.
Yeah. Got some highlights of Bronny James Jr. here, putting up 15.
Remember this scrub point guard from Louisville back in 2020? Well, here he is getting crossed up by Bronny James Jr.
Giannis, Ryan. Is there room to
Love
grow?
him. I'm sorry.
Is there room to grow?
I mean, obviously, what
Can
everybody
he
points
possibly
to,
get better?
what everybody points to is developing more of an outside shot.
I didn't think his 3-point shot
No,
was
like
that bad.
that was my point. Like people say that like once he develops a 3, he's going to be deadly. I was like, he doesn't miss that often from 3 that it's necessarily like you can't be the best without this.
It's just a weird looking shot.
It's a serviceable 3, but he's not automatic like other people who are in the GOAT conversation.
Yeah.
Like KD's a big guy, but is also just a pretty safe bet from 3 when he launches, whereas Giannis, you're just like, you cringe a little bit.
Yeah.
But then usually it'll go in sometimes. So, I mean.
Yeah.
But, development-wise, yeah, I'd say that's the main talking point about it, but he's pretty upper echelon already as far as, like, defensive things go. I think he could defend 1 and 2s a little bit better.
Okay.
His post defense is pretty elite, but I feel like he's just a bit too lanky for his own good sometimes when he's in like open court. I mean, coordination's obviously not a problem of his.
Open court, he's a freight train.
Offensively, oh my God.
Yeah, you're not stopping him.
No.
I'm gonna ask Will since he's not a Bucks fan.
Yeah,
Is
unbiased
Giannis,
opinion.
Is Giannis the MVP?
This year?
Yeah.
No.
Answer wisely. How dare you?
James Harden?
James Harden, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's one of them, definitely. It's not Paul George. Like Paul George is just.
Look at me, I can draw fouls.
Yeah, I don't know, the numbers, you almost have to give it to him solely because of the numbers, because he put up just astonishing numbers this year. Don't get me wrong.
He did.
Giannis is the clear second, like you said.
Cliff first.
Paul George had a bit of a run there mid-season.
Jokic is 3.
You think Jokic?
Yes.
Jokic, yeah.
Jokic.
Just because of Paul George's injury.
Yeah.
I feel like PG would have been 3 had he not regressed towards the end of the season because of the shoulder thing.
And I honestly think not taking the playoffs into consideration is bullshit.
No.
Just look at what Jokic did in the playoffs. Look at what Paul George did in the
Mwah.
playoffs.
Just
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, Jokic was a beast.
Yeah.
Like, and he'd never been in the playoffs before. That was the most impressive thing. They had never been in the playoffs, and he just dominated. What was the problem with Bledsoe?
Dude, if I knew.
What do you think about the contract?
I'm not terribly upset about the contract, honestly, because like we talked about, he killed it in the regular season.
Yeah, he did.
I don't know if it's a confidence thing or if it's a heightened amount of pressure night in, night out for Bledsoe, but he just didn't look like he wanted to be out there. Like, he'd go in there,
Looked like last year in the playoffs.
take like an ill-advised shot, and then like from then on just be like, everybody else can shoot, I'm not doing it. And when he did it, it would again be ill-advised or wouldn't look confident coming off his hand.
I'm going to get mine.
Exactly. It's definitely.
No, you're not.
I think it was a headspace thing for him. Like, I think he just, because in the regular season you can just be like, I'm gonna go out, like you said, go out there, get mine. If we lose this game, we got 81 others.
Yeah.
Whereas in the playoffs, I feel like he's just kind of in his own head about shit. So like, I'm not upset at the contract because like I'd say he's like a top 10 point guard. when he's playing like he was in the regular season, before I get ethered for that comment because of recency bias. When he was playing in the regular season, I'd say he was a top 10 point guard.
You know what he is? He's Kyle Lowry.
How dare you?
That's what he is.
That's not untrue, damn
That's
it.
what he is.
I hate to say it.
Let's move on. This one's going to be fun. I'm going to say a name of a free agent this summer. You tell me what team he's going to be on.
Oh, all right.
How many times can I say Lakers?
He doesn't even have to be a free agent.
Ooh,
Okay,
maybe
okay.
a trade.
Okay. Well,
Start with the big one.
Uh-huh.
KD.
Knicks.
Yeah, you hate to say it. You hate to say it.
Knicks. He's
Yeah.
not staying. He's not staying.
Think there's any chance he stays?
I think his best chance of staying was if...
What if they win the title without him? Does he stay?
No, I think he's definitely gone if they win it without him. I think his best chance of staying is if he would have, like, come back, like... If he comes back, like, right now, when the Warriors are kind of scrambling,
Yeah.
and leads them back to the win, I feel like that's the only feasible situation where he's like, all right, I should probably stick around. These guys need me.
Yeah.
But, like, if they win it without him, I mean, like, there's no reason for KD to come back. He'd be like, this narrative about me joining the team that beat me and me not earning my rings is only going to be exemplified if they win one without him. So I feel like he's got to go do his own thing in New York.
You're right. Yeah, I mean, I feel like he feels like he has to, because we all know KD's been the kind of guy not necessarily to take into the media pressure, but like he listens, you know. And you got to think that pisses him off. You got to, and so I think he's probably built up, you know, because I feel like KD's the kind of guy that would be like, oh, they think that I can't, so watch me, you know. I feel like that's what he's been doing the whole time. So I think that's why he's definitely gone. I think he got his ring. He got a secure ring like he wanted, and now he's like, all right, I'm going to go do it myself, which I hope never happens. But
He's going to New
will.
York. It won't.
There is an asterisk next to these rings, I think.
Absolutely. No doubt about it.
Unfortunately.
Steph Curry and Klay Thompson probably could keep theirs.
The 2015 one's good.
Yeah.
That one's good.
Yep.
These last two, no. I think he's going to the Knicks too. But I think the only way he can redeem himself, because I personally will never forgive him for what he did.
No.
Never.
No.
Never.
I'm fine with it, man. Go get yours.
But I think the only way he could redeem himself is he went back to the Thunder.
Oh, that'd be nice. A little coming home party.
Yeah. It won't be this year, though. I think he's going to the Knicks.
There's no way it goes back to
Following
Thunder.
in
with-
LeBron's footsteps again.
Yeah.
If Russ is still there, no way he goes back.
Oh,
But
no.
Oh, yeah?
if they manage to unload him, then I bet he would try
They're
it
not
out.
unloading Russell, though, dude. They just,
No.
like, bought in, like, and, like,
The
hit
fans
the
will
slots
have-
3 times.
Those two cannot coexist.
Yeah, I
The
doubt
fans
it.
will riot, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They love that man. Kawhi, probably the second biggest name, I would say.
I'm going Raptors.
Los Angeles Clippers. I think it's a fun landing spot now after we saw what they put up
Yeah.
against the Warriors in round 1.
We'll go back to KD. Is there an off chance he goes to the Clips?
Wouldn't hate it.
Him
Yeah.
and Kawhi on the Clips?
See, I think Kawhi just didn't like the Spurs at all. I think he had a problem with the Spurs organization. Now, this is just my personal opinion. I obviously don't know him at all, but, like, I just feel like Kawhi is the kind of guy that would be like, I just want to play basketball, dude. Like, and I was like, I got to the finals this year. You know, that's kind of like how he thinks. He's like, why would I leave? You know, I had that chance right here. KD's gone, more than likely, by that time. And so I'm going to think, especially being Kawhi, but any other player without his mindset, I'd struggle leaving this situation. And now, especially it being Kawhi, it's just like, I just want to play basketball.
I don't know what Kawhi's mindset is.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't think anyone does.
Yeah.
he could hang him up after this series and I'd be like, yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Well,
It's Kawhi.
if you think about it.
I think he's staying.
Yeah.
I think the
Going
only
with
way.
Raptors too?
Yeah, I think the only way he was gonna stay was if they got to the finals.
Yeah.
And
Gonna pull a little Paul George.
yeah. Next on the list, Kyrie.
Also, the
Oh,
I don't
Knicks.
care where Kyrie goes.
Also the Knicks.
Also the Knicks.
Los Angeles Lakers. Lakers.
And don't steal my shtick.
You bastard.
You bastard.
It would be Trust me. I've had almost every emotion with Kyrie. You know, me being a LeBron fan, seeing him hit the shot, then him leaving. I was like, dude, I hated Kyrie, and now I've kind of come full circle with Kyrie as I respect him as a player, like opposed to how I feel about Kevin Durant, where I don't even respect him as a player. I don't like him at all.
What about this season has made you respect Kyrie?
I think it was
seriously.
I think it was purely the rumors of him going to Los Angeles. I think that's warmed me up about Kyrie again. Like, okay, if he comes, I'll be happy. I honestly don't. Kyrie is the one where I really don't know almost because
he's kind of like Kawhi. Like, what the hell is he thinking?
Yeah.
Except he said he actually talks.
He's the inverse. Like, we don't know
cryptic.
about Kawhi because he doesn't say anything, and Kyrie says too much. Yeah. We don't know how to decipher what he's trying to say.
We know he thinks the Earth is flat. That's all we know.
He definitely
this man.
does. He always will.
That is all we know.
But,
I'm gonna say Nets.
Nets.
Going Nets?
I'm gonna say Nets. Yeah.
I wouldn't hate it. It's also a fun landing spot given what they did in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Seriously.
There is a bunch of teams like the Clippers, Nets. You know, and then you think like we discussed on an earlier podcast, like the Suns have that core, but it's just like they just don't know how to play basketball.
And their owner sucks.
Yeah.
You can't get past the bad owner, man.
Mm-mm.
It just trickles down because the owner hires everybody. If he hires bad people, James Dolan.
Mm-hmm.
My hot take with the Suns, I think that there's a problem with having too many high draft picks on the same team. Like, they're all lottery picks. So all these guys are coming from places where they were the guy. And they come in as a lottery pick, so they're expected to continue being the guy. And so there's 6 to 7 guys that you're playing every night. That's like, I'm going to get mine. That's what I was drafted to do.
Yeah.
So I think there's a problem with almost like an AAU type of I need to prove myself night in and night out on the Suns. I think that's why they can't play ball.
Do you think they can build around Booker and Ayton?
I think they can build
you think that's
around.
a good enough core?
I think they can build around Booker. Ayton's definitely good and could be like a Miles Turner type of quiet center.
Oh God, I'm familiar with that.
Yeah, but
the quietest of all centers, if you will.
I think it could be done. But
Kawhi quiet.
So
That's
quiet. So quiet it leads the league in blocks and doesn't even make it on the all-defensive team.
Yep.
That's how quiet Miles Turner.
He just built a reputation for himself as a bitch. So
Yeah.
like when he actually like started playing defense, they're like, fluke.
Yeah.
Get out of here, kid.
Yeah.
I think he can build around Booker.
Yeah, definitely.
He's too good of a scorer, I think.
Mm-hmm.
He's very good. He's got to build up some consistency. I think.
Get him a true one guard, and I feel like the Suns would be pretty legit. Okay, not legit. They would be a competent team in the NBA.
Could reach an 8th seed with a miracle.
Yeah, they could mess around, get an 8 seed if they had
have
a competent 2 or a 1 guard.
So if they got Kemba
Oh, I think they could do it with Kemba.
Oh, yeah.
Reach an 8th seed with
or
Kemba.
D'Angelo.
Yeah, I like D'Angelo Russell, but here's something. I was actually, that's funny you mentioned D'Angelo because I was talking to Caleb Lynn about it earlier today. I think the reason he worked so well with the Nets this year was because he bought into the system almost and bought into the team. Like, the Nets had a really good thing going. They had the sideline mafia, and I feel like that only helped D'Angelo, progress as a player as well because he, fully bought into what they were doing. And so I think that's a struggle with, not to throw out another free agent, but I think that's a struggle with D'Angelo Russell this year is who could get him to buy into their system and therefore, because I don't feel like he really bought into the Lakers system much,
Right.
And obviously he didn't with the recording in the locker room, but
Wearing a wire.
I feel like if someone could get D'Angelo Russell and get him to buy into their system, I think that might be one of the best free agency pickups all year.
Let's just go to him. Where's he gonna go?
I think he stays.
Think so?
Mm-hmm. I'd love to see him stay.
I think that's a really safe bet. Honestly.
I think he stays too. I don't see any reason why he wouldn't. But being a bit of an Indiana homer, I would love to see him with the Pacers. I really would, especially if he could buy in. I think Victor would have to take a bit of a different role. I think the team would have to buy in as well. But if they could all, like I said, buy in, I think that could be a really fun squad to watch.
Oh yeah, I think so too. But when Victor went down, That sucked.
Yeah.
That team was bad without Victor.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they kept their head above water, but they could have won. I thought they could have won like 54 games.
Yeah.
They would have gone to the second round.
They could have gone. Yeah.
They would
If
have
they
beat
didn't
the
play the
Celtics.
Bucks, they could have been the. They could have. I think if they didn't have to go through the Bucks in the playoffs,
They
until
would
the
have beat
Eastern
the
Conference
Celtics.
Finals. Yeah, I think they could have made it to the Eastern Conference
Yeah.
Finals. Especially
Uh,
if they could have crept up, got that 2 seed.
Yeah.
Maybe with Victor.
They were at the 3 seed forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
But when your number one becomes, Thad Young?
Boy on.
Speaking of, Bogdanovich is going to be a free agent, so
Yeah, let's just go to him.
hot take.
Where's he going?
Lakers. No way he doesn't.
Lakers. Shit.
That screams LeBron surrounding role player.
Yeah.
Bogdanovich.
You know what? It does, actually. It honestly
That
does.
is.
That's a great.
It screams LeBron.
Yeah, you like it, don't you?
That's a phenomenal take. That's a phenomenal take. I hate to say it, but
No, you don't.
I don't love Bogey though as a player, but that is a good. I think that's a good landing spot. After watching him with the Pacers, I think you need a better small forward if you're the Pacers, or you're not going to do anything. You can't build it with Bogey. You're not going to win anything with Bogey. That's why I think if you're Pacers, you need more than just a point guard. You know, Thad Young is what you want, is what I'm looking for defensively. But then again, he's a power forward as well. You know, if you could get almost a Thad Young as a small forward, I feel like that's almost what they need. I just don't feel like when Vic left, Bogey stepped up, right? And because he could, but
He did.
how much? I mean, he's not that player whenever Vic's there, and for whatever reason, I don't know why. I mean, he's good, but then again, he's liable a bit on defense. He's not phenomenal defensively.
Right.
He can't rebound as good as a small forward in today's NBA. I'd like him to.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, I think almost that's why I said I like that move so much, because I think it almost fits into what LeBron wants as a player, because the Lakers have a bunch of guys that could, are quick and could play D now, get bored, maybe not necessarily get boards, but could play defense, and they don't have anyone that could score like almost exactly Bogdanovich can.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a phenomenal call. Absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, I went through the everybody was going to be a free agent. I ticketed 3 for the Lakers that were just like screamed LeBron, and it was Bogdanovich, and then 2 Bucks, Middleton and Lopez.
Middleton, I like
Lopez
Middleton.
coming back.
Yeah, Lopez going back, and then Middleton screams
He does.
LeBron compliment, and then like Brooke Lopez, a big that can shoot and will rebound for when LeBron misses.
Yeah.
Like that is so up his alley.
Yeah.
It was a big Magic mistake letting Lopez go.
Mhm.
Big mistake.
Mhm.
I don't know where Bogdanovich is going. I have no idea where he could go. I just know he's not coming back.
No, he won't be coming back. He's
Because-
gonna make his money.
Yeah. I would rather give Thad like a
Yeah.
small deal, because I think he would take it if we went after like Kemba or something. If we told Thad, hey, we're gonna get Kemba, he would take a small deal.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He would.
But tell
Bogdanovich
Thad-
would not.
Yeah, I don't like Bogdanovich. I mean, I like Bogdanovich, but I don't think he is the championship pacer. At least on a team, that has to pay everyone. Like he said, if you're gonna go out and get a big free agent, you gotta pay.
Yeah.
But and then I think, not to go off topic, but like I said, if the Pacers could get a Kemba, and then they could get just someone to fill in a role at small forward, at least a defensive role almost, because you're gonna have Kemba and Victor Oladipo. It's just they could be good next year. They could be really good, especially if the talent kind of bursts, if you will, from the Warriors, and it's more kind of an open league.
Yeah.
Which it definitely is this year. It definitely is more of an open league this year.
Mm.
But I think this free agency could be the kind of like the bomb that really just kind of blows it completely open.
I think this is the last year where it's a foregone conclusion the Warriors get to the finals.
Oh, definitely.
Yes. Oh, no doubt about it. I'm not sure that. I'm almost willing to say they won't make it next year.
Like, they'll definitely be a contender.
Yeah.
Even if KD leaves, but
I think someone in the West is gonna beat them. Too many West teams have been fiending for too long, building
Yeah.
up.
yeah.
Because I think that's real almost. The Rockets, dude.
Nuggets.
Yeah,
I said the Nuggets. I love. They're one like free agent splash away from being like a scary good team.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, and
They wouldn't have got swept by the
Mm-mm.
Warriors.
No.
They wouldn't have
OKC still building.
I'm not a fan of OKC.
I don't like OKC. I don't love OKC, but they're a team that if they got everything together, I think they could challenge the Warriors. If they played at the 100% capability, they could challenge the Warriors, especially next year. especially next year.
Yeah.
Because the Warriors aren't getting KD and Clay. They're not getting them both.
You got to pick one.
You got to pick one, and that's huge.
And KD's done taking discounts.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's like, I got you 2 rings. I'm giving my max.
Yeah.
But you can't blame him.
Mm-hmm.
You really can't blame him. How about Kemba? Where's he going? I think he's coming here.
I said Pacers. Yeah.
I just don't know what's keeping him in Charlotte.
Cody
They
Zeller.
Cody Zeller.
Cody Zeller. Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
The lemonade stand.
Cody Zeller's lemonade stand. But yeah, I'd like to see him. I don't know. You're right. I don't know what keeps him in Charlotte, and where else. I don't think I'd probably pick D'Angelo Russell if I were Indiana over him, over Kemba almost.
Because he's younger.
Yeah, and I don't think we've reached full potential even close to. I think probably deloading is probably 80% of the way there, 88% of the way of his max, 85. And I think Kemba, you got 2 or 3 years, really good years left before he starts. To go down.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Especially being undersized a bit, agile finisher.
His whole thing's being quick. And
yeah.
Nothing kills that faster than age.
Exactly. And so that's in deloading.
Chris Paul.
Poor guy. He's adapted to his old age.
Yeah. Chris could always pass a bit.
Beautifully.
He could always pass. He's matured well.
He's aging like fine wine.
Mm-hmm.
My ass. Here's one I don't care about. I couldn't care less where this guy goes. Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
Hot take. Nets.
Now is that with D'Angelo Russell?
With D'Lo coming back.
Okay. I like that.
I like that too.
Yeah.
I like that too.
Butler,
I still don't think
Butler,
they do
D'Lo,
anything.
LeVert.
Jared Allen.
That's a fun team.
Yeah. LeVert is so good. We drafted him, We
Yeah.
drafted Karis LeVert.
Yeah.
Nice.
Traded
We
him
also
for Thad.
drafted Finals MVP.
Yeah, we sure did.
Yep.
We sure did. Try to block that
Larry
out of my
Bird.
memory. Yeah, Larry
Elite
Bird.
drafting, just not great at retaining.
Back-to-back years.
Even for hours.
Yeah, I know. Back-to-back years. Drafted Kawhi, traded him. Next year, drafted Miles Plumlee. Not a good 2 years. Not a good 2 year run.
Tigers.
Good thing we got what's his face from the last draft.
Holiday.
Yeah, but what about the other guy?
Leaf.
Yeah.
Fuck.
TJ Leaf.
TJ Leaf's the legend.
God, I hate
He's
him.
a legend around here.
I
And
hate
OG
him.
was on the board, I want to say.
He was.
He was on the board,
He
and
absolutely
we
was.
drafted TJ Leaf.
Harry Giles was on the board too.
Dude, what are we thinking? No, that does not make sense.
Dude,
right? That
coming up-
not not make sense. You
White
can
guy.
never convince
White guy.
me.
Gotta have him.
Coming out of UCLA, everyone was like, TJ Leaf is probably the next Kevin Love. Those were like legitimate comparisons he was getting.
They were. I was still pissed because he was white.
I think it was just because like, hey, look at this white guy that can shoot from UCLA. It's probably Kevin Love again.
Yeah.
You're right. Any team that has someone, really athletic guy out of UCLA, kind of small, but can throw it down. Next Russell Westbrook. Didn't go to a high school, but it could shoot. Kobe Bryant.
No. Where is he going? Where's Jimmy going?
I thought he was gonna stay. I mean, I think they got a good thing, but I like if the Nets could convince them, because it's all about I think the Nets have a good thing. You saw in the playoffs, but I also think the 76ers kind of have a good thing. I guess I don't really love their core. I don't love it.
I disagree. I think the Sixers, pardon my French, are pretty fucked right now with what they got.
I mean, they have a good team on paper, almost like the Suns.
I'd rather keep Tobias if I was them.
Because Tobias is walking, JJ's walking,
Yeah.
Jimmy's walking.
Yeah.
Ben Simmons is your number 2, which is a problemo right now with how we can name all the things that are wrong with Ben Simmons right now. I mean, obviously you have to build around Embiid, but like beyond that, his best supporting cast members are all leaving.
Exactly. And Embiid, his back could break at any time.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. I like Embiid, but
I like him too.
I don't. If you had to trade one, who would it be? If you had to pick one to build around,
Between
Ben Simmons.
I think you get the most for Ben Simmons.
trade wise,
Yeah.
Simmons has the best draft capital or trade capital, so I'd move him.
Yeah, I think I don't know why they don't. Honestly, I really don't. Especially after this year, if they're going to be taking a hit. If you could keep Tobias Harris and trade Ben Simmons and get a couple decent pieces, that's not a terrible team.
No.
Help me out. Who did the Sixers move in the trade for Harris? The kid out of Wichita State. I can't remember his name.
Landry Shamet. Yeah.
I thought he was a great role player for them, and he was so young, and
shooter.
And they moved him for a 1-year deal with Tobias Harris. I thought that was crazy.
Yeah.
Because they were just
selling
gunning
out.
for it.
They missed him.
Yeah.
They missed him so bad in that series with the Raptors.
They're selling out for the finals.
I mean, with how close they came to winning that game, just because Kawhi happened to bounce a shot in, like still having Shamet on that team. I mean, like Harris was solid, but it wasn't like a series changer.
Yeah.
I feel like they gave up somebody else too.
They
Muscala,
did.
but it's Mike Muscala.
No, they gave up
Wilson Chandler, right?
No, they gave up the really tall guy, right? Or no, they got him. Are we talking about the Clippers?
They got Zubac from the Lakers for nothing.
Oh.
For like a bag of chips. They got
Oh,
Zubac.
I was talking about the trade with Tobias Harris.
Sixers?
Yeah.
Oh, Marjanovic.
Yeah, Marjanovic.
No.
Boban.
Yeah, Boban.
Yeah, I forgot about him.
You mean the actor?
Yeah. Dude, did you see John Wick 3?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
He got destroyed by
Really?
John Wick. Yeah. That was the most brutal death of the whole movie. He like
Might have to go
broke
see
his
it now.
He like broke his jaw with a library book.
Oh my
It was
god.
like,
How do you reach it?
it was terrible. It was terrible. Jimmy, I don't care.
You don't care.
Go back to the Timberwolves. See if it works.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Lakers.
Another team that's dead in the water, the T-Wolves.
Yeah.
God, they just don't know what they're doing either.
Do you think Jimmy's going to the Lakers? That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
I wouldn't bet on it, but
Mm-hmm.
Be a couple of big personalities in LA to deal with.
Yeah.
so I think the Lakers are gonna miss out on all the
Top
marquee
ones.
guys. Yeah. And
Yeah.
they're just gonna settle.
But
for
then they
Jimmy.
could swipe. They could probably get 2 or 3 decent ones.
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler not a marquee guy anymore, you don't think?
I don't think he doesn't compare to the
This year,
Yeah.
I don't think he quite compares to the upper echelon.
How about Clay? I think he's coming back.
He's staying.
Yeah,
If
he's coming
KD
back.
if KD leaves, he stays. If KD stays, he leaves. Now
Really?
where does he go if he leaves?
Sensible me says he's staying in Golden State, but fun NBA me says Nets. I
Nets
want him
again.
to go to the Nets.
Oh wow,
You
that's
want
a
everybody
good
to go to
loaded.
the Nets.
See, like, I figured Jimmy Butler probably won't end up on the Nets.
Yeah.
It was just a fun scenario, but I bet they land one of the two. If Clay is going, which I assume no,
Yeah.
it'd be foolish of him to get out of that core three with Curry and Draymond.
Yeah.
But
The Nets are getting somebody.
the Nets are going to make a splash. I
Yeah.
mean, they've proved enough. The Nets and the Nuggets, I feel like, are the two teams and the Clippers. Those three are like the most primed to be like, we're building something here.
Yeah.
Come win with us.
Yeah.
And have the space. I'm not sure if the Nuggets do, but I know for a fact the Clippers and the Nets have some space to play around with this offseason.
That you always hear about the Clippers, the Knicks, and the Nets. Those are like the three teams you always hear about
Yep.
through the summer. Tobias.
Oof.
I think he stays. So I think they let Jimmy walk.
Yeah. I bet he stays. I bet he gets his money from him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Who else are you gonna pay? I mean,
I don't know.
Jimmy's walking.
I think he could put Tobias on any team, honestly.
Yeah, I like him.
Do you think the Sixers will try and re-sign JJ? Like, he's old as dirt, but like he
Yeah.
was a huge contributor for
They
this
won't
year.
have to. They won't have to fork up much for him. I don't think, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Another 1-year deal.
Yeah, probably.
quality 3-and-D guys are at pretty high premium right now, though. So I wouldn't be shocked if some
Could get him.
middle of the road team just came calling for him,
Mhm.
Yeah.
put up some big money.
The Magic. Go back
Yeah,
to
someone like
the
the
Magic.
And someone
Alright.
that's really stuck in limbo.
Yeah. Magic made the playoffs.
Yeah.
They got a bright future. Maybe. Here you go, Ryan. Chris Middleton.
Chris Middleton. Like I said earlier, I think he kind of screams LeBron and would be a fit around him. Heard whisperings that he's going to go back to Milwaukee, though. I mean, if they're going to shell out for any of the guys that they're losing, it has to be Middleton.
Yeah.
So I think that,
He was an all-star.
yeah, I'm thinking he stays.
I think if the Bucks would have made the finals, it would have been a sure thing. He
Yeah.
stays.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's definitely in limbo now because he could be like, fuck this, I don't know if we're going to break through. I'm going to go get my money.
Yeah. What do you think, Will? Chris Middleton.
I think he says.
I think he stays. I want him to stay. I like the Bucks. I don't like they're in my division, but I like them.
They're going to look very different next year.
Yeah, they are
A
definitely.
lot of guys walking.
Here's a guy that's kind of under the radar, Vucevic.
Oh man.
He was a total non-factor in the playoffs. Though.
Yes, he was.
I don't know if that's gonna cost him. Probably not.
He's only ever played for the Magic, right?
Yeah, no, he was on the Sixers in the lockout year. He didn't play though.
That's right.
He didn't play. He was part of that Dwight Howard trade.
Ugh.
Yeah, way back when.
But I don't know. Probably stays. I mean, I don't think any contenders are shelling out for him, and I don't think.
Oh no, shit no.
And the Magic are middle of the road enough that it's probably going to be the best situation to win that he can make his money at. I don't really see him going. He's just kind of damned himself to basketball purgatory because of his play style.
Yeah, he's not gonna get. He's probably gonna get the most from the Magic. I want to say, right? So.
Yeah.
He's got to be a hometown favorite at this point.
Yeah.
I love using him in 2K.
He's a beast in 2K.
2K16, I would beat anybody with that Magic team.
I think he goes back to the Magic too, just because they made the playoffs. He was their best player, so it's let's run it back.
Yeah.
He can't get any
May I
worse.
remind you in 16, back when they didn't know that Alfred Payton was bad? So he was a little speed demon up on the top and just run the pick and roll with him and Vucevic.
Yeah.
Ball game.
Every time. Guaranteed 2 every time. Al Horford.
Oh, boy.
Tough.
The Celtics need him if they're trying to still be contenders.
I think if you ask Celtics fans, they would take him over Kyrie any day.
Oh, yeah.
Any day.
Yeah. But I think that kind of goes along with some other teams too. I think that you could find use out of him, and I don't think he's gonna be too much of a paycheck to give up, So I don't know. What do you think?
Lakers?
Lakers. That's the first thing that pops in my mind every time. Lakers. How do you fit in the Lakers system?
Yeah, do you think he wants to go jump on a better contender? Because, I feel like he knows that the wheels are kind of spinning in Boston.
Yeah.
Well, if it's the Celtics, I think Kyrie's gone, right? We can agree Kyrie's
I think we can reasonably agree that he's gone.
And if they don't trade for AD, the best player is going to be Hayward, maybe? Or Tatum?
Hayward or Tatum. 1A, 1B at this point. There's no real differentiating between the two right now.
So wouldn't it just be that team from last year that almost made the finals?
Mm. Minus Kyrie.
Yeah, minus Kyrie.
Which might be better.
I think he goes back. I think he likes Brad.
Yeah.
Definitely. It's hard not to like Brad, honestly.
Yeah.
He works well on that team.
Yeah,
and
he does.
With how young they are, they need that veteran influence that's been there before.
Al Horford's another guy. Just stick him on any team.
Yeah.
He's going to make a difference, yeah.
Yeah.
Boogie.
Stays.
It's a weird one. Stays.
Yep.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they don't win?
Even if they don't win, I think Boogie stays. I think a bit of a loyalty because, literally no one would sign him. And they threw him a bone.
Exactly.
Gave him time to recover. Now he's come back and repaid them. I feel like a bit of endearment has begun to grow, not only Boogie towards them, but the fans toward Boogie. They're we gave you your time and now you're producing for us. I feel like there's a bit of a rapport there, and I could see him sticking around for maybe a 3 or 4 year contract, just a little something, and then go make big money after that one.
Especially if Durant leaves, he can be I'll just take his shots.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and just I'll pass it to Steph, which if Boogie stays, that could be a pretty good team.
Yeah.
Coached up well, cap space gone. They could fill in some pieces a bit.
So is that who you're saying?
Yeah.
Warriors?
I think it makes sense, especially if KD leaves. If you could keep Clay and DeMarcus Cousins, wow.
If you can.
Yeah.
Exactly. We're not taking into account actual logistics of signing these people because I feel like it's going to be pretty. I mean, Clay's going to get the max, right?
Yeah.
Cousins is not taking a minimum again.
Yeah,
No,
you're
not a
right.
chance.
But how much space do the Warriors have? Do they have just barely enough for one max?
I don't know how they have enough for what they have now.
Yeah,
to be honest.
they're underpaying. I think Steph took a pretty nice contract. He has a pretty good one, right? He's getting the
Big.
max. Yeah, he's getting the max.
It might be the biggest in the league.
Yeah.
I think.
So how does that make sense?
So yeah, so they probably won't have room for Boogie then.
Well,
so
the cap goes up every year.
it does.
That's the thing that makes it possible.
Yeah.
If Durant leaves, I think he goes back. Takes like a 3-year deal or a 4-year deal, like you said.
Just a little something.
Yeah. I didn't put Draymond on here, but what about him?
Draymond.
Is Draymond expiring?
I keep hearing his name get thrown around. I don't know if it's like an option or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Draymond would be.
He's got to be a lifer Warrior.
Yeah, he has to be.
Him and Clay.
He would ruin
he and
his.
Steph, I think, have to be lifers. I could see Clay getting out and getting his money just because Steph's
definitely a lifer.
Steph's just like Clay's now is a 3-point shooter, and Steph's just a better version of that.
Yeah.
He would ruin his legacy if he left.
Mm-hmm.
Draymond, especially. I mean, I think if Steph left, I think he could kind of, do his thing a bit.
Draymond, even with 3 rings, maybe 4 rings.
I think he would prove how bad he actually is.
Exactly. Draymond looks a hell of a lot worse if he goes and
The Lakers.
Yeah, it goes like the Lakers.
Yeah. Oh, I wouldn't want Draymond on the Lakers, so I'd probably start hating the Lakers, actually.
Put Draymond on the Nuggets and inject that directly into my veins. Oh, my God. What a lineup.
Jesus.
That's a title team.
That's a drug. Is what that is.
Exactly.
That is a drug.
It's a drug because it's never going to happen, and I'm high for saying it. But
he would love that. God, I feel like that would be a good place for him to go, though. I hate to say it.
Kicking it to Gary in the corner.
Because it's like he has to do the same thing almost. Just like be a body. Just like kind of big.
2 elite passing bigs on the same team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then pick up one of the good to very good shooters in this year's free agency pool.
Yeah.
That's a damn good team.
Is Jokic the best passer in the league?
The best passer, period?
Best passer, period. He's up there.
He's definitely top.
He's up there.
Top 10. You could talk me into top 5, but
I think LeBron's still the best passer.
Exactly. There's some very good names that we need to keep in mind.
James Harden's a great passer.
I mean, both guards for Houston are pretty elite
Chris Paul's
passers.
still a good passer, yeah.
Passing bigs, number 1, pretty unquestioned.
Definitely is.
Okay, not unquestioned. Boogie.
I
from
was
what
about to
I
say,
saw.
Boogie's making a name for himself, though.
Damn it. I'm out here with too many hot takes. I need to cool it off a little bit.
All right, guys. Hall of Fame game. I played this.
Yeah, I'm excited for this.
On the last pod.
Oh, shit.
With Bobby and Devin.
I unplugged your thing. My bad.
It's all good.
Here are guys. I went through every roster in the league because that's how much time I have.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the guys I said were for sure in the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
Vince Carter. Kyrie.
I love Vince Carter.
If you have any quarrels, just say it. Just stop me.
Mm-hmm.
Vince Carter, Kyrie, Kawhi, Pau Gasol, Tony Parker, Dwight, Russ, Steph.
Oh, you lost. You're starting to lose me with Dwight and Russ back to back, but all right.
Well, which one?
Stats-wise, Russ has to.
Yeah.
Dwight's
prime was too good.
I think my recency bias is showing.
I'm almost leaning more against Russ than Dwight.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. Almost.
Dwight never had an MVP.
Jesus.
I value championships a bit, I guess. Not seriously enough to make me like Michael Jordan better than LeBron, but enough to make me think he couldn't do anything in the playoffs, dude. He was a good player, yeah, but he couldn't win.
Russ?
Yeah. Dude, okay, Russ made it to the finals because of Kevin Durant and James Harden. Not solely. Give him some credit. I'll give him credit. He's led the Thunder to the playoffs every year. But the last 2 years he's had Paul George. And that's okay, you gave him a bit of a break whenever he didn't have Kevin Durant after he left them. And you're okay, you do your thing, you get up points, and that would be okay. But now that he gets Paul George, he still can't do much in the playoffs.
I mean, the same could be said for LeBron.
Okay.
LeBron doesn't win a ring in Cleveland without Kyrie. Kyrie won that series.
How about this?
But LeBron does.
Yeah, we're getting super off topic.
Without Kawhi, without Kyrie though, LeBron.
I like going into the time machine though.
LeBron does put up averages, actually insane, probably the best playoff run of all time the year after Kyrie left. And where I'm cutting Russell Westbrook off is right there. LeBron makes it to the finals, loses, they both lose. But Russell Westbrook can't even step up enough to win a series. LeBron, I agree to that. I agree to an extent. But LeBron could step up enough to, okay, he's not going to lose a first-round series. Someone might actually beat him in the Eastern Conference Finals this year. Because I'd almost say, I don't know. I'd almost say that the casts are similar. The casts are pretty similar. And Russell Westbrook just doesn't have that factor. He's not really efficient enough, I want to say, at least of a shooter.
That's for sure.
Of a shooter to do that. LeBron's never been a great shooter, like a truly great shooter, but he's always been good enough to people say, yeah, you could shoot, Yeah. He's never been, maybe except for maybe 1 or 2 years, and maybe early and with the Heat, because he had a pretty bad year shooting with the Heat, I think, 1 year. But
his early years with the Cavs, he was not a good shooter. You couldn't even defend
Giannis-esque.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just elite finisher.
Yeah.
And everyone was just like, I hope he finds a jumper someday.
Yeah.
And goddamn, he did.
Yeah.
But I think that's where not Katie, but Russ and LeBron separate. Because I mean, he could do his thing, he could put up the stats, but LeBron could also win to an extent, And Russ can't really do much in the playoffs, at least. I value playoff basketball a lot, I think. I like playoff basketball. I think that's when really, the stars are made. I think if you want to earn your Hall of Fame status, be a good playoff basketball player.
I wanted to go back to what you said about without Kyrie, LeBron doesn't win a ring.
In Cleveland. Yeah.
If the Thunder don't blow a 3-1 lead, LeBron never wins a title in Cleveland.
Yikes.
I think Thunder were the best team in the league.
Yeah.
That year. They would have beat the Cavs, I think.
If Kyrie and...
I don't necessarily
how about
hate
this?
that take.
We could keep throwing out the ifs. If Kyrie didn't blow out his leg and K-Love didn't blow out his leg...
Year before, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
LeBron would have 4 rings now.
The Warriors have definitely had their fair share of luck.
Oh,
yeah.
No doubt about it. There is no doubt about it. Can't wait for the 30 for 30.
Next week on the podcast, we talk for 5 hours about LeBron. How good of a football player would he be?
Could he have played in the NFL?
Yeah, that's
Should he have his own reality TV show?
That's my own podcast because I just talk about a different LeBron topic every time.
We're talking about baseball.
LeBron
would hit 70 dingers in a season.
Yeah, if we're comparing Michael Jordan's physicality to LeBron's physicality, I have been able to come up with a formula that would suggest that LeBron would at least have a 100 batting average better.
At least.
Yeah, 55 more RBIs per season.
Barry Bonds numbers.
Yeah.
Let's see, where was I at? Oh, Russ, okay. Okay, continuing. Steph, Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, LeBron, James Harden, Chris Paul. Those are for sure Hall of Famers.
No doubt.
I agree with all those, yeah.
Okay. Here's the ones we can debate.
Here we go.
And by debate, I mean they're either Hall of Famer right now or if they continue what they're doing.
On the right path
for
the Hall of Fame.
All right. This one, just gotta get a good one now.
Gonna be some hot takes.
Al Horford.
Ooh.
Oh my God.
See, this is tough because what's the upside here? Because Al Horford's old as balls.
Yeah.
But I feel like we also often forget about the Hawks career that he had.
I don't think Al Horford has ever missed the playoffs when he's been healthy.
Right.
I think he missed a year and the Hawks sucked because of it.
Does he have a ring?
Doesn't have a ring.
No, doesn't have a ring.
Doesn't have a ring.
But man, he and Millsap on those Hawks teams.
Yeah.
Yeah. And him and Josh Smith before that.
Oh yeah, I think they had Corver, dude. No, the Hawks were legit.
Did they have Joe Johnson during that run too? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Teague. Teague was running the point.
Jeff Teague,
God.
yeah.
Talk about super teams.
They were good.
I remember recently I was going back through old playoff series and I saw that the Hawks were the 1 seed one year. I was like, how in the hell? Just because recency bias kills me.
I think the year the Warriors won the title the first time, they were the 1 seed.
I think
they
that's
won
right.
60 plus.
But no one thought
They got bumped early.
Yeah, I think LeBron.
But yeah, I don't hate Horford for the Hall. I feel like he won't. I don't feel like he's gonna get it.
I don't think he'll be first ballot.
He might be one of those exactly one of those when the NFL puts in some lineman from the 1970s.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Who's been dead for 20 years.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, let's put him in.
I feel like Horford could be an eventual one if they're running out of ideas and they're hey, he was pretty good back in his day.
Yeah.
But as of right now, I'd give it a tentative no.
Okay.
That's why I go hard no. Because
Hard no.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Never
I think
getting
he's a
in?
great player. Oh yeah, but I just think if we start letting the Al Horfords in the Hall of Fame, then we're gonna have to start letting in, the
That's
Dwight
another
Howards.
problem, yeah.
I mean, Al Horford. Don't get me wrong. He's been great, fun to watch. Really, really a top tier player almost all his whole career. Like you've always heard the name Al Horford. Hasn't really came down much from where he was. Being how old he is, but I just don't think you could throw the Al Horfords in the Hall of Fame. I think you gotta do a little bit more, and I love him. I just don't think you can throw him in there.
I think a good criteria for being Hall of Fame worthy is like you have to spend at least 1 or 2 seasons as the best or the second best player in your position. And I don't feel like going through the Al Horford list that he would usually crack the top 5, but I don't know if he's ever stepped up into that elite status of like this guy is the best center / power forward that the league has to offer right now. And I feel like that's what's holding him back.
Yeah, he was never the best.
Yeah.
Mm.
Right. I think he gets in eventually.
I'm kind of feeling that.
Like this year in the Hall of Fame was kind of a dead year.
Yeah.
Like Jack Sikma got in and
No, he gets.
Sidney Moncrief got in.
I
think there'll be a dead year.
Yeah.
Al Horford gets
Can't
in.
I
Sidney
definitely think
Moncrief
he
got
is.
in. That's
I think he's
bullshit.
a good candidate for a sympathy vote, but I just don't think we should be letting in the sympathy votes. I think there's some organization. I don't know which one, but I'm under the impression that one, like the MLB or NFL, actually some years won't nominate any for the Hall of Fame, any people, like if they don't feel like they've met a certain standard.
Not true.
And so
I think it's baseball.
it is.
Baseball's weird.
Yeah, baseball is weird.
They're weird.
Percentage and getting taken off the ballot.
Yeah.
And all that shit.
Like he can only be on the ballot so many years.
Yeah.
It's not like without Horford. If you just take Al
Put in
Horford-
Bonds
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clemens.
and Clemens. Damn
it. Gordon Hayward. I'm gonna say no.
Nah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
God no.
Basketball Hall of Fame, like just overall, maybe
Basketball
just
Hall
for
of
what he
Fame.
did at Butler.
Yeah.
Right.
Basketball Hall of Fame. Yeah.
Well, that's all there is basketball.
He'll be at the one in
Yeah, I'm
Newcastle.
stupid. That was a
There
dumb
should
thing
be
to
an
say.
NBA Hall of Fame. There should be. This is a
Yeah.
college Hall of Fame.
I feel like he could fuck around just because of his college days. Get in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, he'll be in the Hall of Fame. I mean, the shot. What are we talking about? Like as a player, the shot somewhere will be in the Hall of Fame because that's one of the big, good moments of basketball history.
Well, going back to Al Horford, look what he did in college. Florida.
Yeah, that Florida team was fun.
The Hall of Fame is just weird. Dude.
Okay,
It's-
yeah. If
there
we're talking
definitely
about
needs to be
NBA
some
careers,
An NBA
different-
Hall of
like
Fame.
Joakim
differentiation.
Noah's a Hall of Famer then.
Who?
Joakim Noah's a Hall of Famer then.
That Florida team was crazy.
Embiid.
Dog, get the fuck out of here.
Embiid.
No.
on his path?
No.
Is he on the right path?
Is he on the right path? 100%.
Clown. He's hurt too much.
I think he's gonna get hurt.
He's played like 7 games total in his career. We
If
need
he-
to chill on the hype train for
I
Embiid.
think he's gonna get hurt.
I think he's on the right path right now. If he continues this level of play, I think if he plays like this for the rest of his year or for his career or above, I think he'll end up with the championship at least and a couple good playoff runs.
On the Sixers? Championship?
No,
No.
don't see him winning it there. I think he'll leave eventually. Probably get one somewhere else. Maybe be a good big man underneath a good point guard or something like that. Good shooting guard.
Iguodala.
Man, this one hurts me because
It's tough.
he had a whole ass other career in Philly
He was the best player on the Sixers.
Yeah.
for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That whole post Iverson, he was the best player.
Yeah, exactly.
No, they made it to they were a decent playoff team before they got bad, right? They were like a 6 or 7 seed,
The
4 or 5
year
seed.
D Rose got hurt,
Yeah,
they were like this close to ECF.
yeah. And so he was pretty good, and then, like you said, he had a second career with the Warriors, won titles, a Finals MVP.
Yeah.
So
I think what kills him for the Hall of Fame is in his second career how he took that backseat role and just became like I'll be the extra body out there, the really good defender. Like with how his percentages took such a shot when he went to Golden State. I feel like that's what's going to keep him out. Because like there's no denying that he's been an integral part of them winning. But like also they're just like, yeah, you've been surrounded by 4 first ballot Hall of Famers your whole time there. So
Yeah.
congrats, buddy. You didn't score much.
And I will say it, he should not have a Finals MVP.
No. Should have been Steph.
Should have been Steph. Could have been Draymond too.
Yeah. Big Iggy fan. I'm not feeling the Hall of Fame for him.
Okay. I don't think so either. I think he gets left out.
I think he's a Hall of Famer.
Okay. I'm just gonna skip this one.
It's a forum for debate.
I'm gonna skip this one.
You skipped it?
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Was he that bad?
I'm not even gonna say who it was.
Oh, come on.
No.
Would I lose respect of you?
You might leave this room. Jimmy Butler.
Victor Oladipo.
Hard Jimmy Butler, no.
Nah.
I'm gonna say no too.
No. I don't think he's on the right path either.
Mark Gasol. I'm gonna say yes.
I'm gonna say yeah.
Just because of his Olympic career, and he's the
That's true.
best player in Grizzlies history, probably.
I mean, that's not a great history,
Yeah.
anyways. But yeah, I'd say he's probably the best.
Good for a while.
Him or Zebo.
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
Forgot about
Zebo at the time, man.
Marion, Indiana's finest.
Yes.
Zach Randolph.
Yes. What a guy.
That man.
I don't think he's Hall of Famer. Marc Gasol. He's had a good Olympic career. That's the only thing that's keeping me kind of. I don't think his NBA career enough.
Yeah. It's like Powell. He had a great Olympic career.
Yeah.
But he got a couple rings too.
The Grizzlies were legitimate, finals contenders for a couple years with Gasol as their best player.
Yeah, but they just couldn't. They couldn't get past. They couldn't get past
like the Spurs.
Yeah.
The Thunder.
And that's what I was saying. Someone argued with me the other day. This is kind of interesting. I don't mean to switch topics, but someone brought up with me the other day. They said that if the Pacers would have beat the Heat in 7, then the Pacers would have beaten the Spurs and won the title. What do you think about that?
Oof.
Wait, say that again.
If the Pacers would have beat the
Hot
Heat
take.
in 7,
Right.
then the Pacers could have beaten the Spurs in the finals.
The year the Heat beat the Spurs.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
The
But
Heat
Spurs-
barely beat the Spurs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the Ray Allen shot year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think the Pacers were good enough to beat the Spurs, and I don't think especially. It's just random.
And the next year, when it was Heat Spurs again, even if we had beat the Heat, we would have got swept.
Oh yeah.
Boris Diaw shredded the Heat.
Yeah.
What would he have done to us? What would he have done to Roy?
Oh God. Boris Diaw. What a guy.
Blake Griffin.
No.
Again, we have to take into account that's everything, and he was, without question, the best player in college basketball.
Yeah, he was a great
his last year.
basketball player.
He was either the first or second best player on a contender for 7 years.
Yep. His Lob City days, there was little question that Griffin was in the top 10 best players in the league.
He was, yeah.
Yeah.
If they didn't blow it against the Rockets that year,
First overall pick that at least backed it up well.
yeah.
I feel like
if he could land smoothly, if he could land his career smoothly, he's not done a bad job so far in Detroit. You know,
he was pouring it in.
Yeah. So if he could if he could continue that, I think he'll be a Hall of Famer. Actually, now that I think about it, you're right. Those years with the Clippers, Lob City was an event. You know, that happened big time.
Plus his rookie year was
He's
bonkers.
always
One of
been
the best
good.
rookie
Always
years
been
ever.
very good.
Yeah.
I think
Always been
that's a
very
point
good.
that's going to be good for him. He's never had down years per se.
Yeah.
I mean, for his standards, he has, but he's
Yeah.
been a valid contributor at worst.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right.
I'm going to say yes.
Yeah,
I think
I'm
he's
putting
a Hall
him
of
in.
Famer. You're right.
Giannis, yes.
Yes, no doubt about it.
As of right now, probably not, but
Yeah, if he were retired today, no way.
Yeah.
No way he
Yeah.
is if he retired today, but he's definitely on the path.
Yeah,
of
we're
being a
banking
Hall of
largely on ceiling, and if
Yeah.
he shatters his femur and never plays basketball again,
right.
then we're gonna look pretty dumb
Yeah.
when this comes up 3 years from now.
Famer.
But
yeah.
with his current trajectory, it's gonna be hard to say no. He's so young, and he just won his first MVP.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna happen. He was gonna win the MVP.
A few more here. Jamal Crawford.
Tugging at my heartstrings.
Jamal Crawford.
Yeah.
I love Jamal Crawford,
I
but
love
no,
him too, but
absolutely not.
I love Jamal Crawford, but I think he slides in there now.
First ballot 6-man Hall of Fame,
Yes, he's in.
Yeah.
Yes.
but for overall basketball players, I mean, he can still pour it in pretty much whenever he wants to, and people know what he's going to bring,
Yeah.
and he still scores whenever he wants.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't see it. No.
He's the all-time leader in 4-point plays.
Is he now?
Huh.
Yeah.
That could send him in alone. That'll.
Dame. See, it's tough. Some of these are
Yeah,
tough.
these are hard.
Some of these are tough.
Without the obvious ones.
Just and you're not looking at stats either. Just you're going off names.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Dame doesn't quite get the college boost as everybody else does because, like, congrats to scoring at Weber State. I'm pretty sure I could put up like 4 a game at Weber State.
And he's never been.
Trash can.
I mean, have the Trailblazers ever been a contender?
I just think what he's done
this year.
What he's done since Aldridge left, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
They haven't missed the playoffs.
Yeah. You're right. He's carried that team pretty well. I mean, he's got McCollum as well, and they got some other pieces, but he's carried that team pretty well consistently as well, you know. So, but that's like kind of going into Russell Westbrook, like that's something we expect from Russell Westbrook. You know what I mean? And I'm out here saying he's not going to make it in the Hall of Fame. So how am I going to say that Dame Lillard's going to make it, you know?
Yeah.
So hear me out. I'm going to give him a yes specifically because he plays in Portland. Just because of
and he's never going to leave.
How he has been the face of that team, hit so many big shots, and has been their primary guy even when Aldridge was there. For how long now? I mean, like he's been the guy in Portland, consistently filling up the stat sheet.
Yeah,
I feel like, and I don't see that slowing down anytime soon. I mean, like he looked as good as ever in these playoffs. So I think if he keeps that up and stays in Portland and is just like the Portland guy that's always hitting clutch shots and is always filling up the stat sheet, I don't feel like you can keep him out.
Yeah, I think he's the second best point guard right now behind Steph.
I don't hate that.
Who are you going to put over him? I think he's better than Kyrie.
Yeah, especially after this season.
I think he's better than Russ.
I don't know. He's on the line. He's pretty good. I love Dame. I like your point, too, about Portland, too. Mm-hmm. I think that does mean something as well. So, I don't know.
This will be a tough one. You know what? I'm just going to end it with this one because this is going to be tough.
Is it the one that you skipped earlier?
No. This is going to be a little emotional. It's going to tug at your emotions.
No.
Derrick Rose.
Don't do this to me, man.
The youngest MVP winner ever.
Is he going to be the only MVP to not make the Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
You would hate to see it. You really would.
Oh, man.
How much does the 50-point game give him a little boost like this past year? You're like, oh, wait.
He just had a 3-year run that was like, holy shit. Like, this guy, he is here. Mm-hmm. He's going to be here for a while.
And then the old knees.
Yeah. I'm going to say yes.
Yeah, you got to put him in, dude. Like, he was the
he
youngest.
He has an MVP.
If he wasn't the youngest MVP winner ever, I think, you can make a case.
I think he was.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah. I think the fact that he was is reason enough to be like, okay, yeah, he was the youngest MVP winner ever, but then he had the worst knees of all time as well. So how do you not put him in? Because the guy had bad legs, but look what he did when he was here.
He gets a Memphis boost as well.
Yeah.
Just by himself got to the final or the national championship.
Yeah. But if we're gonna talk about big shots, then does that shot put Mario Chalmers in the
Stop it.
Mario Chalmers.
Stop.
Hall of Famer. Well, he's got a couple rings. He's got 2 rings.
Stop.
D Rose
as a starter for the Heat. No, I'm joking. As a starter, yeah.
D Rose is in the same atmosphere as Penny was for me. Just like
that's a good point.
Damn, he could have been one of the best.
Yeah.
Probably ever.
Yeah.
But bad knees just destroyed such a great thing. Yeah. We, as basketball fans, deserve so much more Penny and Shaq. We deserved. Oh my God.
We definitely did.
Hurts my heart to think about how those guys went down so early.
Yeah. They would have won a title, I think.
Yeah, I think so too.
Horace Grant, king of the mid-range, was on that team. Let us never forget his contributions to basketball and to people who aren't that athletic everywhere. Just that you can be pro just by hitting elbow shots.
Yeah.
Shout out Horace Grant. Love you.
He's a Hall of Famer, isn't he?
No, he's just like the classic role player.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, the classic role player on every team?
Yeah.
Poor man Robert Horry.
Like he was on the first Bulls three-peat.
Yeah, he was on the Lakers at one point, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think he won.
He's got his fair share of rings.
Yeah, okay, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like, you got to throw the guy in the MVP if he's got, like, 2 hands full of rings.
Just scoring, like, 8 points a game, 4 for 4, all from the same elbow.
Yeah.
He's getting, like, 6 boards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm saying no on D Rose.
Okay.
Yeah, I gotta say no.
I could see it either way, honestly.
Yeah.
I could see it either way. I just think that 3-year
Pick a side.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to say yes.
All right, there it is.
Yeah. If I had a vote, I would say yes.
All right.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anything else you guys want to hit on?
I already got my Horace Grant mentioned in, so I'm good.
Yeah.
Give
So-
Horace his props.
We're sticking with our predictions for the finals then. Raptors 7,
Yeah.
Warriors in 6.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll keep you boys to it then.
Okay.
I'll keep you boys to it. I'll make sure.
Oh,
But yeah, I do want to end with if I think Game 3 is almost the pivotal game of the series. I think if the Raptors could win this series, I would I couldn't put it past them winning the whole thing.
So what if they go down 3-1 and KD's like, I'm coming back for Game 5? It's like, well, son of a bitch.
Yeah. Do you think they win if that happens? Do you think the Warriors could win if KD from the 3-1 deficit if KD comes
No,
back?
I'm saying if the
Oh.
Warriors go up 3-1.
Oh, and then you're
KD
saying
comes back,
KD's
yeah.
coming back anyway?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That
No,
would
if
be-
the Raptors went up 3-1 and KD came back,
there's so many different storylines that could play out,
yeah,
Yeah.
it really are.
including
you don't know-
tonight.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah, seriously.
you got a game starting in 20 minutes that
Yeah.
is going to
So-
very much make us sound either very smart or very dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Well, all right, guys. Thanks for coming on.
no
It was a
problem.
good
Appreciate
time.
you having me.
Yeah.